Vulnerability, number 5. Tammy Joyful, TammyJoyful.com. So, this one is not so fun. Surviving the darkness. Surviving the darkness. Any of you feel like you've survived darkness? Some people call it, come on, let's move. Move. Some call it dark night of the soul. Some have had many dark nights of the soul. I've been through more dark times than I'd like to admit to. Being vulnerable here. Where it's hard to get out of bed, it's hard to function, it's hard to pretty much do anything. So if you can relate, let me know. I was going somewhere with this. Now I lost my thought when I had to move because of those other dogs. Let me get my thought back. And I just realized I blamed something outside myself. It was my choice to move. So, anyway, surviving the shadow of the darkness, the darkness that feels like it's all encompassing, that overcomes us. We can't live an empowered life. Some don't make it through those times. Some feel it's so dark that they'd rather leave the planet. Some choose to stay longer than expected. Goes back to those choices, I believe. Well, we're talking about darkness. Surviving the darkness. The dogs aren't liking this one. You don't want to talk about this one? No. Be able to do this one here. Vulnerability. Yeah, I'm talking about suicide. I've had several suicides impact my life. Some more than others. Have I thought about suicide myself? Yeah, sure. First time I did was many years ago. at a function, and a military function, and at a hotel, and went to the outside and contemplated jumping off the side of the hotel. Quite. That was kind of scary. Many other times too. Anyway, it's moving out of that darkness, allowing it to flow. We're going back to the flow and vulnerability, being vulnerable to talk to other people, being vulnerable to share the hard times. Sometimes it feels like others are in a really good place. It's easy to think that on Facebook and other social media, that people are in a better place than they really are. I'm in a good place now. Don't get me wrong. Most of the time. I still have down times. I still have challenging times, for sure. And I also have good times. I also have empowered times. Surviving the darkness. Friends help. Animals help. Nature helps. For me anyway, those are the things that helped me get through those times. Speaking what needs to be spoken. Living with people that are very ill is hard. It's very difficult. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. Whether you're a caregiver or not, or whether you're whether you just know someone, that's going through an extremely hard time. People that I have known have gone through some really, really hard times. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. A dog was walking by, so these guys wanted to go play. Leave it. So helped us they definitely helped me get out of some dark times. And it's a wave. I go through waves. I know my up times and I know my down times, when I need to rest and when I need to sleep, and I know my action times. It's not always flowers and roses, and it's not always darkness and dungeons. It's for me anyway. I have waves. In human design, my arm's getting tired. In human design, I'm considered a projector, and projectors have waves of up times and down times, and it's very, very helpful to know your waves. And Mary Rose, a friend of mine, kept telling me this, and I just thought, if I feel good, I feel good. If I feel bad, I feel bad, and that's just the way it is. But it's very helpful to look on the calendar and mark those times on the calendar, the up times, and the times to act, and the times to... took me a while to figure it out, and then also through just guidance leading me to mark down the times I can act like today. Today is an act day. The first day around this new moon eclipse kind of threw me for a loop for a few days. But I guess to know your ups and your downs, and to know they're not going to last. It's not going to last. Tomorrow's a new day. This moment is a new moment. Make choices. Make choices that are right for you. Do I honor those that chose to leave early? I certainly do. I honor you, and I love you. And I move on. And I'm moving on, as they would wish me to do. As they do wish me to do. They have wished me to do. Many times. So I hope that for you too. I hope you can live an empowered life. I hope you can know that the dark times are not going to last, and there's sunshine and rainbows, flower trees, and spring. I know some of the country is still under lots of snow, and I just can't imagine that. It's still pretty cold here, but it's still not spring here too. It's what they consider winter here in Washington, the cold season. But the flowers are out, so to me it's spring. It feels like spring to me. Other people say it's winter, but to me it feels like a beautiful spring. It's, between 30s and 40s. 40. It always feels colder than than the temperature says it is to me, though, because the humidity in the air and the moisture in the wind. It just always feels colder than the thermometer says it is to me. So, ending on a happy, smiling note. Spring is here and coming to some places. Spring is here in some places. Like I said, to some people, spring is not here. So it's all perspective too. Perspective. So live your best life. My cousin says that. Andrea, thank you, Andrea. Live your best life. I love that. See that every day. And so live an empowered life. And if you want to talk to me about any of these things, just reach out, tammyjoyfulguidance@gmail.com. Be glad to discuss any of this with you. Have a great day. Tammy Joyful. Love you. See you next time.